So a little while ago, I did the EDC 44 mag showdown, where I showed what I thought was two of the best guns out there if you were looking to carry 44 mag on your person on a daily basis. And what I did was I showed the two different guns, the Smith & Wesson Model 69 2 3/4 inch barrel, and the Smith & Wesson 329 PD 4-inch barrel for anybody interested. And I did a variety of testing back and forth. And what I got asked by somebody about concealment. So what I did was I have two holsters here. This is for the PD, this is for the 69. And they're about the same, a little bit different brands, Crosshair and DeSantis. This one has a thumb brake, but I figured they were close enough where I could show kind of a good comparison between the two guns on how well they conceal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try them on, I'll show them on, I'll change shirts a couple times, and do a whole little fashion show, do a little dance, all that fun stuff. And I'll show you how well you can hide each of these guns, because this is, the 329 PD is, after all, longer barrel, bigger gun overall. So can you conceal it as well as the smaller 69? We'll determine that today. The other thing I want to do is I'm going to show recoil. Now recoil I will show after I do the comparison for the holsters, because I kind of was unsure of how best to show recoil on the guns, so I kind of came up with a little thing for that. But let's get to the holster comparisons, or I'm sorry, the gun comparisons. I guess we are comparing holsters, but we're mainly comparing the guns. So let's get to it. Alright, so here we are at crotch cam, and I've noticed two things. One, we're going to be staring at my crotch for a while, and two, I'm going to have a lot of editing to do, because between changing shirts and changing guns and changing holsters, this is going to be a lot of takes. So let's get into it, shall we? Now, I'm wearing a simple Hawaiian shirt. I've kind of been doing that for the summer just because it, well, hides guns real well. So we're going to start with that, and I'm wearing the 69 on my person right now. And got my belt all cinched up here, right, using the Core Essentials belt, and the gun hides pretty well. I mean, there's definitely, when I pull tight, there is definitely a gun there, but easily concealable with this shirt. And I'm using, here's the gun for anybody interested, I'm using the same set of grips on both guns. These are kind of worst case scenario grips in my opinion, even though they handle recoil beautifully. They're rubbers, they can grab at clothing a little bit, and they're big, but they handle recoil beautifully, so it's kind of a trade-off. But in this shirt, the gun disappears. Every once in a while you see this little bit of a point anywhere, somewhere. That point right there is the thumb brake, but again, I think if the thumb brake wasn't there, you'd probably be catching on the front sight, or the rear sight, I'm sorry. But conceals pretty well with a Hawaiian shirt. So Hawaiian shirt passes the test, no problem. Let's see how the 329 PD conceals. Alright, we've changed to the 329 PD, and as you can see, still conceals pretty well. Again, this is kind of a loose-fitting Hawaiian shirt, best case scenario for if you're going to wear a t-shirt out and want to conceal a big gun. And the gun is gone. I mean, obviously if I pull tight, you do kind of notice there's something there, but that's if I pull the shirt tight, and that's what you expect. You are carrying an end frame. But no big bulge, no anything, no real issue. Turn around, the grip does not pull out. There's where the grip is. You know, you can see it right there when I pull the shirt tight, but grip doesn't poke out real bad, and the shirt is long enough to the point where if even now I can move my shoulders pretty good. Let's see, I can move lift my arms up. Now if I lift my arms up, obviously the shirt goes real high up, but you'll notice I really have to raise up the shirt to get to the bottom of the holster, to the point where the bottom of the belt's right there, so the holster only sticks out a couple inches lower than the belt. So you would pretty much, doesn't matter what you're carrying, if you were carrying outside the waistband, the gun would be exposed. But just normal movement, like if I move my shoulders or move my arms from doing stuff or walking, does not expose the bottom of the gun. And this is a 4-inch barrel, so again, you're concealing a lot of gun in a simple Hawaiian shirt. Let's try it with a different shirt now. Alright, so we've switched guns and we've switched shirts, and you'll notice, yes, it's wrinkled. I know it's wrinkled. I am single, I live by myself, and I pulled this out of the drawer, put it on for this video. With that being said, I've switched to the Model 69 again to try and show, and it hides very well. Again, once I tighten up the belt, which the key to hiding a big gun is a good holster and a good belt. DeSantis makes a good holster. There's a Core belt on here, if you can see. It it has micro adjustments, so I can adjust it 1/4 inch intervals, getting the perfect tight fit, pulling the gun up into my person so there's not a lot of movement, and the gun disappears. You know, just in a t-shirt, the gun disappears. Now if I stand like this, you can, you know, if you compare, I guess, my sides, you kind of see a little tiny bit of a difference, but nobody's paying that close attention to a random slight bulge on your side. So yeah, conceals real well. The back of the grip, you'll notice the grip is right here, right? If I let the shirt hang tight, it does not poke out at all. So gun is still very concealable even with a light t-shirt. Let's switch guns. Alright, here we are with the 329 PD and the ever wrinkled t-shirt, and gun pretty much disappears exactly like it did with the Hawaiian shirt. If I pull real tight, you'll see the gun is there, right? But with just a loose hanging t-shirt, just a normal t-shirt I pulled out of the drawer, again, it's wrinkled, it covers the gun, it hides it. If I pull real tight, you will see that there is a little bit of a lump right here where the cylinder is, but nobody's paying that much attention to you to notice stuff like that, and even if they do, they're not going to realize it's a gun, and even if they do realize it's a gun, they're probably a weirdo for paying that much attention to you. You should go away from them and leave them alone. Yeah, but gun hides real well. The shirt, again, this is just a normal t-shirt, is long enough to where it hides the gun. I really have to kind of bring my shoulders up right there. You'll see the bottom of the holster, and right there, you know, another 2 inches up is the belt, which is what you want in a good holster because it's a 4-inch barrel, and in spite of being a 4-inch barrel, you'll notice there's only a few inches between the bottom of the holster and the belt, so you don't have a whole lot hanging below your belt, which is what's important about a good holster, is that the mass of the gun is up here where it's much easier to conceal, not down here where it's easily exposed. So both guns hide fairly well. I guess at the end of the day, the 69 does conceal a little bit better, but even with a t-shirt, this conceals pretty well. So that's that. Alright, so I hope that gave you a good idea of what these guns conceal like, with basically worst case scenario being just a t-shirt in the summertime. Both conceal pretty well, and I gotta say, at the end of the day, I guess the 69 does conceal a little bit easier because it is a little bit smaller, but with the right holster, right belt, and a right t-shirt, they both easily concealable even in the summertime. Now, I'm not going to show it with sweatshirts and stuff because obviously, you know, you get a pullover hoodie, you can carry anything you want. But so basically that's that. Now, as far as recoil, recoil's kind of hard to show because everybody handles recoil different, and it depends upon loads, it depends upon all that, the shooter, you know, how good are they at handling high recoil guns. So instead I cooked up a little video. Now, I'm not sure all what we're going to learn from that video, but it was a lot of fun to shoot, so I figured why not. Basically, what we can gather from that video is both of those guns were loaded with a 240 grain semi-wad cutter, doing just under 1100 feet per second out of those length barrels. As you could see, I did not die from one-handing them. I did not, you know, my hands are not in braces, and I don't need to have reconstructive surgery. So, do these guns recoil a lot? Yes, they do, especially depending upon how heavy a 44 mag load you want to go. But with practice, they are both manageable. And the other thing is grips. I see so many people that, especially the PD, that they leave the wood grips on the gun, which yes, they are beautiful, but you've got a 26 ounce 44 mag with wood grips. You know what's going to happen before you pull the trigger. And yeah, so when you put the Haute Tamer grip on, or any other good recoil absorbing rubber grip, they become much simpler to shoot, both guns in fact. That's why I have that grip on both those guns, because it makes them much easier to handle. So there's really not, like I said, there's not really any other way to show recoil, because everybody is different, everybody can handle it different. But for me, I shoot 44 mag quite a lot, and it's not that big a deal to me. So I would honestly, if you plan on carrying 44 mag, I would take your gun out and I would do a lot of shooting with it, and just make sure it's something you can handle. I mean, that's kind of all there is to it. Like, there is no magical science to handling recoil. Alright, so that was part 2 of the 44 mag showdown. We showed both of these guns on the belt with a variety of different shirts to kind of show how well you can conceal them and how easy they are to conceal with the right equipment. And then I tried my best to show that the recoil is not going to kill you. So yeah, that's part 2. If you have any questions, feel free to put them down below. If you want a part 3 and there's something else I haven't covered that I can possibly cover, also let me know down below and I'll see what I can do. But that's my video. Have a good day,